Hi, this is Mark. This is English Conversation Practice.
Daily routines. 10 questions and answers. Part 1, questions with example answers. Part 2, you answer the questions with your own experiences. Okay, let's start. Questions. What time do you usually wake up? What time do you usually wake up? I usually get up at 5:30. When do you have breakfast? When do you have breakfast? I have breakfast at around 8 a.m. What is the first thing you do in the morning? What is the first thing you do in the morning? The first thing I do is brush my teeth. When do you start work or school? When do you start work or school? I start work at 9 a.m. What do you usually have for lunch? What do you usually have for lunch? I usually have a sandwich or a salad for lunch. When do you finish work or school? When do you finish work or school? I finish work at 5 p.m. What activities do you do in the evening? What activities do you do in the evening? In the evening, I usually watch TV or read. Do you have any evening rituals? Do you have any evening rituals? Yes, I like to relax with a cup of tea before bed. When do you go to bed? When do you go to bed? I go to bed at around 10 p.m. How many hours of sleep do you get? How many hours of sleep do you get? I aim for about 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. Part 2. Don't stop now. Answer the questions. What time do you usually wake up? I usually get up at... When do you have breakfast? I have breakfast at around... What is the first thing you do in the morning? The first thing I do is... When do you start work or school? I start work, school, at... What do you usually have for lunch? I usually have... When do you finish work or school? I finish work, school, at... What activities do you do in the evening? In the evening, I usually... Do you have any evening rituals? Yes, I like to... When do you go to bed? I go to bed at around... How many hours of sleep do you get? I aim for about...
Conversation at a restaurant, part 2. A drink. Can I start you off with a drink? Yes, thank you. What will you have? I'll have tea. The meal. Are you ready to order? Yes, thank you.
What will you have? I'll have a burger. The dessert. Can I get you some dessert? Yes, thank you. What will you have? I'll have pie. Drinks. Can I start you off with a drink? I'll have some lemonade. I'll have some grape juice. I'll have some milk. I'll have some water. I'll have some coffee. Meals. Are you ready to order? I'll have spaghetti. I'll have salad. I'll have fish. I'll have soup. I'll have steak. Dessert. Can I get you some dessert? I'll have some pie. I'll have some ice cream. I'll have some cake. I'll have some jelly. I'll have some fruit. "25 opposites." This is a time test. You have 10 seconds to name the opposite adjective. Plus, finish the sentence. Are you ready? Let's do it. Three, 2, 1, 0. What's the opposite of absent? It's present. What's the opposite of accept? It's refuse. What's the opposite of admit? It's deny. What's the opposite of against? It's for. What's the opposite of agree? It's disagree. What's the opposite of alive? It's dead. What's the opposite of all? It's nothing. What's the opposite of ancient? It's modern. What's the opposite of answer? It's question. What's the opposite of apart? It's together. What's the opposite of appear? It's vanish. What's the opposite of approve? It's disapprove. What's the opposite of arrive? It's depart. What's the opposite of artificial? It's natural. What's the opposite of awake? It's asleep. What's the opposite of backward? It's forward. What's the opposite of bad? It's good. What's the opposite of beautiful? It's ugly. What's the opposite of before? It's after. What's the opposite of begin? It's end. What's the opposite of below? It's above. What's the opposite of bent? It's straight. What's the opposite of best? It's worst. What's the opposite of blame? It's praise. What's the opposite of bitter? It's sweet. Finish the sentence. Coffee is bitter. Strawberries are sweet. The pyramids are ancient. The internet is modern. This is the question. What is the answer? Bugs appear in summer and vanish in winter. Are you still asleep? No, I'm awake. My burger was bad. Yours was good. Are you ready to start? Okay, great. Let's do it. I'd like a pizza. What toppings would you like? Where can I find the eggs? They're on aisle 6, on the left-hand side. Do you have your boarding pass? Yes, here it is. Two tickets for 7 p.m., please. That will be $20. Enjoy the movie. Are you new here? Yes, I joined yesterday. What a beautiful day, isn't it? Yes, it's lovely. What seems to be the problem? I have a sore throat and a fever. I need to withdraw some money. Sure. Do you have your ID? Welcome. Do you have a reservation? Yes, our name is Smith. Does this bus go to the city center? Yes, the next bus arrives in 10 minutes. Let's take turns. I will go first. I will be the red sentences. And you will go second. You will be the blue sentences. I'd like a pizza. Where can I find the eggs? Do you have your boarding pass? Two tickets for 7 p.m., please. Are you new here? What a beautiful day, isn't it? What seems to be the problem? I need to withdraw some money. Welcome. Do you have a reservation? Does this bus go to the city center? Let's switch. You will go first. You will be the red sentences. And I will go second. I will be the blue sentences. What toppings would you like? They're on aisle 6 on the left-hand side. Yes, here it is. That will be $20. Enjoy the movie. Yes, I joined yesterday. Yes, it's lovely. I have a sore throat and a fever. Sure. Do you have your ID? Yes, our name is Smith. Yes, the next bus arrives in 10 minutes. Hotel services. Hotel services. Support desk. Open 24 hours. There are staff at the reception desk 24 hours. Morning calls. Morning calls will be set automatically by phone. How to connect to Wi-Fi. 1. Turn on your device. 2. Choose Wi-Fi settings. 3. Input password. Outside calls. First dial 0 and then the phone number desired. Valuables. Please deposit cash and valuables at the front desk. Luggage assistance and storage. Luggage assistance and storage is available 24 hours. Okay, conversation time. What are your hours here? The front desk is open 24 hours. Can I get a morning call? You can set one automatically by your room phone. How do I connect to Wi-Fi? Input this password into your device. How do I make outside calls? First dial 0 and then the phone number you want. Where can I put my valuables? You can keep them here. Can I get help with my luggage? Yes, of course.